Hey everybody, it's Exploring with Cindy, and I am at Ruby Falls. This beautiful place is located in Lookout Mountain in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Now, a little bit of history about this place. This place was discovered in 1928 by a man named Leo Lambert. Him and his crew crawled through these small crevices for over 7 hours before they can even find a spot that they could stand up in. I think their expedition took a whole 17 hours. Within that time, he discovered Ruby Falls. Now, Ruby Falls got its name from Leo's wife. I think that's awful sweet that he named a waterfall after her. Now, Leo had a dream to turn this place into an attraction for everyone to see, and by 1929, he had done so. This place opened up to the public. Now, in 1985, this place was placed on the historical registry list due to the fact of it being 145 foot tall, which is the tallest underground waterfall that is open to the public in the United States. It's pretty major. This place is 1,120 feet under Lookout Mountain. This is a guided tour. The tour guide that we had, she was awesome. There was other tours coming in and out. Sometimes that does get pretty crowded. You just move up beside the wall and let them come out. I would suggest going here during a weekday if possible. Weekends, this place would be even more crowded. I went through the weekday. I went when school had started back. And still yet, there was a lot of people here. This is a very popular stop.
I'm going to repeat, let us stay together at all times. Now guys, on the way to the fall, any group we encounter, we pull over for them. On the way from the fall, we have the right of way and they pull over for us. We do give them time to get out of our way.
Now, like I was speaking about earlier, this is a guided tour. What I learned later concerning the tours here is earlier in the morning, they have what they call gentle tours, where the tours are slower. You can take your time, but you do have to reserve those. Now, after hours, they have lantern tours of where they turn the lights off through the caverns, and your pathway is lit by a lantern that you're carrying, which would give you more of a feel of what Lambert and his people actually seen the cave as back then, because they didn't have all those lights and stuff in it as they do now, and a lot of these features and stuff wasn't seen as well as you can see them now. So with the lantern tour, that would give you more of a realistic feeling of what they seen. At the end, where the lights are around the waterfall, with the lantern tour, they turn those off. And from my understanding, there is a lantern that is pulled up a pulley system by the waterfall that lights the waterfall up just by lantern light. Maybe one day I'll go back and try that. But if you're looking for a slower paced tour, I would recommend the gentle tour.
Alright guys, in just a few minutes you will be passing a stalagmite formation that we're talking about. It is gorgeous, you're going to want to touch it. Hey, I want to touch it. But guess what? None of us are going to touch it. You're just going to go freely. Feel free to make it good. But we will not. Now what happens is stalagmites, they grow upward from the ground up. The stalagmite will go
Nature paints a beautiful and sometimes peculiar underground